Hello and welcome to dariostabletop, and today I present to you how to play Mordheim. It is an introduction game I gave my friend Dennis. We were playing Necromunda, and while playing Necromunda we were so enthusiastic about the game, and I told him, man, there's a game, it's similar to Necromunda, but it is in fantasy and it is in a destroyed city. And so he wanted to play, and I showed him how to play, and I have to say I'm pretty enthusiastic about Mordheim, and we had tons of fun. I was reading the printed out rulebook from Mordheim, and I have to say it is amazing. Maybe peak GW was the 2000s because the games are so cool, they are so funny. It's not the best terrain, so I warn you, it will not be the prettiest battle report, because we have not yet a Mordheim board. I have my painted Praetorians, but he doesn't have his ready-made. He's not yet painted up his full warband. He wants to play marine burgers with black powder weapons, but it will be tons of fun. So I will say this will be a cool how to play, but probably there are also other good guys like this Mordheim rules full run through. This guy is really good. I point him out because like in an hour you get the full rules, and you can also like go and jump where you need it. So then the question is, why would you watch mine? Because mine is just an organic game. I will tell you what happens, then I will explain the rules to you. So it's like if I am giving you the introductory game and you're playing with me the game. So that's the difference. Then I want to point out there's another good dude, and this guy's called Getting Tabled, and I think he's funny. He has painted up his warbands really cool. I mean, man, look at this one. In this one, he tells you how you can start with mercenaries, and then maybe play some witch hunters, and maybe use these guys from the witch hunters to be some henchmen that go with the undead, and then how you can build out of these a Kislev warband with a tamed bear. I mean, what can I say more? I mean, Mordheim is really amazing. Again, I played it a year ago, then I played a bunch of other things, and I think now I'm back and I'm dedicating and solidifying myself into Mordheim. Yeah, because I tried a bunch and now it's time to get solid. So let's get to the beginning. Before we start, I want to start right here, and this is the first guy you meet in the rulebook, which I printed out from Mordheim. Please go check out the video before this one. I will tell you about the core rules, and I will also show you the book, and this is not the best resolution, but the book is so good. The original book and also the Mordheim version is also really good. It just feels like a movie, like a really cool 80s and 90s movie. So, enough of the talking, let's jump in. And I don't know, should I read this guy? Let's read this guy, then let me read this guy, and if you can't wait, jump forward a few minutes, because this is a great introduction. So, are you new here, boy? Thought so. I am Luther Wolfenbaum. You must have heard of me. They call me the Crimson Blade of Reichland, no? By Sigmar. Where are you from, lad? Well, I've got a proposition for you. For a few gold crowns, I can tell you which warrior to hire, how to equip your men, where to find the best weapon and armor. The only thing I ask in return for my aid is a pouch of gold crowns. Don't look at me like that, lad. It's hard enough to stay alive in Mordheim, let alone find Weirdstone. Ah, that's better. Yes, that's enough. Good. Let's go, lad. And my first piece of advice is free. Watch your back. Well, this guy is right, because a lot of people will get stabbed in this first introductory report, but more on that later. When you're facing the enemy that is really scary, like the living dead or creatures of chaos, always shoot them. Never attack them in close combat. if you have the option. I've seen many powerful warriors losing precious seconds trying to overcome their fear and charge these monsters. And when they did, it was often too late. A good point this guy has, Mr. Luther Wolfenbaum, because Dennis will bring a bunch of black powder weapons, so I will teach you about black powder weapons, because they can misfire and you have to reload them. And then also about fear and overcoming your fear, because there will be an ogre in this scenario, and if you want to charge an ogre or something that causes fear, you have to take a leadership test. If you fail the leadership test, you won't charge, and if you get charged by something that causes fear, you have to roll also for a leadership test. If you fail that, then you will be only hitting on 6s, I guess, for the first round, which is not good. So let's start. So this one you can check out the Mordheim. This is so cool. He will tell you a few things. And I brought my Bretonnian warband. I really want to try out a bunch of warbands, the Skaven, the Undead, the Witch Hunters. Like it's very rich. And on Mordheim you can find pretty much everything you want because the community just added it. You can play Orcs and Goblins, you can play Amazons, you can play everything. So I wanted to try my Bretonnians because I had a bunch of Bretonnians, and so today sorry, he's just showing you the ass. I didn't make a better picture, maybe later. This is my questing knight, so he did put the lance aside and went to Lustria and came back, and now he's venturing into Mordheim to bring the glory to the lady. And this is my questing knight, pretty much human stats, only that his weapon skill is... wait, his weapon skill is 4 maybe, and his strength is 4, so that's good. But he's a toughness 3 right now, and then he brings 2 knights errants. They want to be knights one day, and then I bring 3 squires, and I bring, if I'm not mistaken, 6 champions, which is a lot. I guess you can bring 5 champions, and champions are good because they can level up a bit differently than your henchmen, and they are more or less special characters. And also after the game, when you search for Weirdstone, Warpstone, you can roll 1d6 for each of your heroes, and the more heroes you bring, the higher the chance of finding Weirdstone. And then I bring 2, let's say 3 archers, Bretonnian archers, peasant bowmen, and 1 man-at-arms. And they're pretty much a ballistic skill 3, toughness 3, and only my squires, they are weapon skill 2, which is really, really bad, but hey, they are learning. Then Dennis is bringing his Marienburger Schützenverein, meaning that they are all equipped with black powder weapons, but right now he hasn't built his warband yet, so I'm giving him a few of my minis. This is usually my wizard, but today it's his leader, and he's equipped with a black powder weapon and with a knife, and then he brings Olaf the Great. He has also a black powder weapon, a sword, and a buckler. Yes, this is a kit-bashed Stormcast, but I didn't do it. This was a gift from a friend, so I will play Olaf the Great with great respect. And then, as you can see, some unpainted archers, and this one with the elven bow. This one in reality has, I think, a blunderbuss or a musket, something that has either stand or shoot. So with most of your fire weapons, you can move and shoot, but if you move and shoot, you get the penalty of hitting with -1. And this guy has a weapon that's 48 inches, and he can either move or shoot. And if he shoots, then 48 inches, and if you're over half of the range of the weapon, you get another -1. Similar to bolt action or similar to old hammer. If the enemy is behind cover, then you get another -1, and if the enemy is a big target like an ogre or a dragon, you get +1 to your ballistic skill. So those are the only things you need to know about ballistic skill, and we will come how the BS will work. So this is our map. We took a bunch of bolt action stuff, and here I have something from Spearhead, not yet painted. This board was hastily built up with the things we had because Dennis wanted to see the game, and he's not from here. So I tried to give him the best, and we rolled for a mission, and the mission from the book was the 7th scenario, where you have to get out a treasure chest, but I had the idea to bring these things, like a big objective marker and a small one, and on the small one you get D6 warpstone to farm, and then they're yours, and here you get 1 time 2d6 to farm, and then it's exhausted. So yeah, it's kind of like we're mining for weirdstone. And as you can see, this is the map. It's not super Mordheim-y, but it will do for today for the demo game. And as you can see, Skaven are patrolling the weirdstone. They will probably flood the board in a few hours, so we better keep going and do what we have to do, extract some warpstone. We will draw aggro from the Skaven. If we are within line of sight, they will try to charge us and fight us, and pretty much that's it for now. There's one up here, so we did place, everybody placed 2 of those markers, 12 inches away from the board and 12 inches away from each other. This one is a beautiful piece. If you see this, in Mordheim you can climb walls and you can walk ladders, but as you can see, like, this indicates that you can maybe walk up here and maybe jump here and just walk over the ladder. So everything that has ladders or stairs, you can just walk or run. Everything else you have to climb. How climbing works I will show you later when I try to climb and fail. So far. As you can see, there in the middle of the board there is this warpstone to farm. One is up here in the house with the flames, and yeah, Skaven are protecting this, and one big ogre with an axe is also kinda roaming this part of the city. We'll see him in a second. And up here, where the warpstone is, in the building with the flames, there's one Skaven protecting it. Yeah, and that's so far it. I think we gave every Skaven a free dagger, and we gave all of our units also a free dagger, which means that we go from 1 attack to 2 attacks. But this guy with the axe, this ogre, he has 2 attacks and 3 wounds. So this one will be tough to kill. Dennis is deploying his units, so we have a 12-inch deployment zone. I will show you right here. You can deploy 12 inches, and he splits up his warbands. So this will go here, this will try to go here, and this will go to try upstairs. And my tactic is a bit different. I will show it in a second. So his boss and a halfling. Again, these have all black powder weapons. I will tell you in a second how they work. So yeah, his big melee guy goes towards the ogre, and his guy with the big musket with strength 4, AP 2, and 48 inches will try to take out the ogre, because the ogre gives extra points. You get 80 gold. Or you can choose to tame him and get him for your warband. So Dennis, I think, is trying to get the ogre. And this is so far the map. I deploy my Bretonnians on the opposite side, and I keep them together just out of instinct. I've run the Bretonnians. It's not good to split your warband too much, but we'll see what will happen. I deploy them here. I brought some longbows, and the good thing, when you buy your warband, you start with your leader, then you start with your champions. Again, I have 2 knights errants, but also my squires count as champions. So it's a good advice to bring 5 champions. And when you buy your character, the character has nothing on him. He's just his clothes, his hands, and that's it. So you have to equip him with maybe helmets. Helmets protect you from enemy stun weapons. You have to give them swords, shields, bows. So I buy a couple of bowmen, and I think one bowman costs, I think, 30 gold. And if I equip him with a longbow, it costs me 15 gold more. So that's how it works. You start with 500 gold, and the Marienburgers start with 100 gold more, so with 600 gold. And yeah, this guy's 30-inch reach, and I will show you what's up. So my questing knight is pretty good. The knights errant are solid. They have all a sword and a shield, not much more. And I start with the blessing of the lady, as you can see here, because my Bretonnian have a special rule, and so my knight takes a knee and prays to the Lady of the Lake, and I have to roll a leadership test, and if I pass it, the Lady of the Lake grants me the blessing and curses the enemy. So I roll, and I roll, I think, an 8, and my leadership is 8, so I pass it. You have to roll 8 or below, or you know what I mean. And then the enemy on a 4+, if he wants to shoot black powder weapons, because they are really dishonorable, so he has to see if he can willpower overcome the curse. On a 4+, they can shoot. On a 1 to 3, they cannot shoot. The curse inhibits that. And for other weapons like crossbows and bows, they can shoot, unless they are shooting at my knights or my errants. Then again, the blessing of the lady will inhibit that unless they roll a 4+. So Dennis starts the game, and he starts by looking at the Skaven, and he starts at shooting. So he has brought black powder weapons. I think this guy has a pistol, 9-inch reach, and this guy has I don't know what kind of black powder weapons, but he is within reach. And black powder weapons work the way that you shoot, and then the next turn your character will reload. So you can only shoot any other turn, unless you have maybe a second weapon, a brace weapon. Then you can shoot every turn with one, or you can also keep them, let's say, in reserve. Then you can shoot them. You can also shoot your pistols into melee, but how that works I will tell you in a second. And also, when you're rolling to hit with a black powder weapon, on a 1 you misfire, and then you have to check the misfire table, which is really cool. And black powder weapons have a strength of 4, so usually 1 strength more than the bows, and they do AP 2, so armor bane 2, which is really good. He starts shooting with the big gun. Again, this guy has a big musket, 48 inches, strength 4, and he's starting to shoot at the ogre. He overcomes the curse of the lady. We were asking ourselves, is the curse of the lady also affecting the creeps? But then it said, yeah, if the warband is cursed, then it's also cursed against the creeps. So he starts shooting at the ogre, and I think he misses it, which is not good, because now he has drawn the aggro of the big fat ogre without hitting him, but we will see later. So these guys unload their pistols into the poor Skaven, and I'm not sure if they get him. I think they miss. For some reason, the 1s and the 6s just show if they are loaded or empty, so these guys are now empty. On a 6, the gun is loaded. I shoot with my bowman. I use 2 from my 3 bowmen to shoot at this Skaven guy, and he is within reach, but because I moved, I get -1 to hit. They have a weapon skill of 3, which means 7 minus 3 is a 4, so I'm hitting on a 4+. Because I moved these guys, I get a -1. I'm hitting on a 5+. So these guys hit the Skaven and then kill the Skaven. They wound him. I want to say, for ballistic skill, the only thing you need to know when checking for shooting, you check your ballistic skill. If your ballistic skill is 5, you're hitting on a 2. If your ballistic skill is 4, you're hitting on a 3. If you have a very high ballistic skill, let's say a 7, then you would hit on a 0, which doesn't make sense, but let's say you move, then you're hitting on a 1, and then let's say the enemy is in cover, then you're hitting on a 2, and then let's say it's long range, then you're hitting on a 3. So if you have a very, very good ballistic skill, you can do impossible shots or very long shots, or even move and shoot and still be able to hit. Otherwise you're always hitting on 5s or 6s. So this guy is gone. I already decomposited Skaven, and now this guy, the ogre, activates, the creeps activate, and he does the following. He does a charge move. He has a 6-inch movement, and that allows him to charge 12 inches. So movement is for most humans 4 inches, for the Skaven it's 5 inches, for the ogre is 6. So if you're running, you're doubling your movement, and if you're charging, you're also doubling your movement. The only change that is there is if you charged, then you get to strike first. So the ogre gets to strike first, otherwise you would strike with initiative. So in the second turn we will see who has the highest initiative, and it's this guy because he has an initiative of 4. This guy has an initiative of 3, and the ogre has an initiative of 3. And so this guy hits before these guys hit simultaneously. And if this guy can take out the ogre, then there will be nobody striking back. And also I will tell you, if you're in the movement phase, you say your charges first, and then you can move and do the other stuff. So charges first, and you can never pre-measure anything in this game, so it's everything you have to eyeball, which is really funny. So the ogre attacks. He has 2 attacks. He puts both attacks in this guy. He doesn't want to split it, and the guy goes down. So if one guy goes face down, it means that he got stunned. The ogre made a wound, and what that means is you're hitting, then you're if you hit, I guess he was hitting on a 4 up, like I guess his weapon skill is a 3, his weapon skill is a 3, so you're hitting on a 4 up. So he hit the guy, then his strength is 4, his toughness is 3. So you look at the table and it will tell you that you can wound the guy on a 3 up. He wounds the guy, and then if you roll a 6, then it's a critical hit, but we'll come to that later. So then he made a wound, and then you take that dice and you roll the dice. On a 1 and on a 2, the guy is knocked down. With a face up, he is knocked down, and next turn he can stand up again and do something. If he's stunned like this guy, next turn he can recover and be knocked down, so with the face up, and then he will stand up after that. And on a 5, on a 6, he's out of action. So far. So that's how the game looks right now. I took my man up to the bridge because I want to farm this wordstone, and I want to send my guys into this direction to farm maybe the other warpstone. As you can see, I'm also trying to shoot these guys, but I cannot see them with my longbow. So yeah, they're kind of out of reach. Dennis charged his guys into the red and meleeed him down. I think it's the next round, and he reloaded all of his guns, but he cannot shoot them in this turn. My guys go in this direction, and it's not alternating activations, it's like he does routing, recovery, movement, shooting, close combat, and then it's my turn, and I also go through all the sequences. So with my squires, I try to knock down these Skavens, but maybe it's not such a good idea. So maybe the young folks should have stayed with the knights. With these guys, I try to climb up the house And the way climbing works is you can climb the amount of movement you have. So these guys move 4 inches. I think I get 4 inches I would get up here. And so they can climb, but I have to do an initiative test. And their initiative is a 3. So you have to roll a 3 or below, and then they would climb. But I roll 2 4s and they go nowhere and they just stand still. So as you can see, I'm running with my knight 8 inches towards the reds, towards the warp stone. This guy also runs. I want him in a good position. We see if the red can charge this guy, but he doesn't make his initiative, and so he can't charge this turn. Up here, I'm showing you here the staircase. You will see, like, here are the stairs, and they just ran up 8 inches because there were stairs, and so no problem, you can just move freely. You don't have to climb, you just run up 4 inches, another 4 inches, and that's where they get. They are ready here for warpstone, another red waiting for them, but they are fearless because they have black powder weapons and they have their leader with them. So we will see what will happen. This guy with a big musket, he also tries to climb and he does it. He also has initiative 3 and I think Dennis rolls a 2. So this guy gets up to an elevated position. And I don't know if you can shoot into close combat. I think you can't. But for this scenario, because like they are dealing with the ogre and the ogre is something special, I said, okay, in this scenario, it's allowed to shoot into melee to shoot the creeps. And so he positions himself that he can shoot the ogre next turn. As you can see, this guy just stood up again. And here my knights errant charged the reds. 2 didn't make it into contact, but I think they still move. I have to check that. And the knight errants go into melee with the red, but they have just a weapon skill of 2. And weapon skill of 2 versus weapon skill of 3, they're hitting on a 4-up. So it is not that bad. As you can see, they knock down 1 red, which is good. Next turn he has to stand up. The other red charges into the squires and they melee it out, but I think he doesn't hit anything. So this melee battle is over right here. And up here the red charges into these guys, but I think, yeah, nothing happens. So I present you the printed out rulebook. Check out the previous video. This was really good because, as you can see here, we have here the cheat sheet. I have a book and Dennis has a book, and I have it on the Vermin tide, like on the Skavens, and so I have the Skaven profile, and he has it open on the black powder weapon and on the misfire table. So it's really good to have, I think, a physical book with you. It's really a joy to have a book there while you're playing, and this one is really good. This is the Mordheim, as you can see right here. Yeah, so this is my advice to you: print out a cheat sheet, print out the Mordheim PDF, and have fun. As you can see here beautifully, I was looking here at the Verminkin, the profile for the reds, and yeah, so far. But there's also other profiles, like if you're playing against another warband, like really cool. Then here the melee continues, and as you can see, Olaf the Great, he manages to chip off 2 wounds because the ogre has 3 wounds and it's really hard to knock him down, but Olaf is getting there and is luckily dodging the axe of the ogre. And I wanted to say, so if you have different weapons have different special skills. It's not a million weapons, it's like probably 6 to 7 profiles of weapon, and axes do rend 1, so -1 armor. With swords you can use to parry, or with a buckler you can parry, which means if the enemy is trying to hit you, you can say, I'm trying to parry 1 attack, and then you have to roll a higher roll, and if you make it, that wound is parried, so it doesn't come through. And that's really good. I guess we forgot it, but he still managed to survive. But yeah, the more you play, the less you will forget. So my archers on this side do nothing, so I crawl underneath the bridge. I run with them underneath the bridge so they can position in a better place. This guy moves up here, I think 4 inches, gets up here. As you can see, the stairs allow us to move. I have now my questing knights and a knight's errant in the melee with the Skaven, and we have down here a second knight's errant who goes on his own. And my archer would hit, I guess, just on a 5 because he moved, but he's within 15 inches, so he hits on a 5. I roll the 5, I injure the red, I wound the red, and the red goes face up beautifully. And right here, my 3 squires are battling it out with the Skaven, and my man-at-arms also joins the fight. So what could go wrong, you say? Absolutely everything, because like the reds, it's now the reds' turn because they have the higher initiative. So my humans have an initiative of 4, but the reds have, my humans have an initiative of 3, but the reds have an initiative of 4. So they melee first, and this guy goes into here, and this guy goes into here, and Dennis starts to roll like a madman. He starts chopping me up. And he's also, this is wounding, and if you wound on a 6, it's a critical wound. And then he rolls another 3, and we check the cheat sheet, so what happens on the critical wound, and it's a blade storm. The warrior unleashes a virtual hail of blows. The attack causes 2 wounds instead of 1. Take armor saves separately for each wound. Remember that as with other critical hits, if an attack causes multiple wounds, for other reasons as well, you choose the highest number of wounds. So I get now 2 wounds, and I guess this guy goes out of action because he rolls 2s, and one is a 1, so it would go face up, and another one is a 5 or a 6, so I'm out of action. And then Dennis again hits me and wounds me. I guess I have shields, which means I have +1 to my armor save, so a 6 up armor save. Again, I do not make it. He rolled to see the injury, and it's not a 1, it's not a 2, it's not a 3, it's not a 4, it is a 5 and a 6, and 2 guys are out of action, which is not good. And the man-at-arms is the only one who holds it together, and he knocks down a red. So here another melee fight ensues, but I think maybe they kill 1 red, and here Olaf the Great manages to come out not victorious, but again this guy is now on his last wound, and this guy is stunned. So if you stun a guy, if someone is stunned, it says here on the cheat sheets, all attacks against the knockdown target automatically hit. So if it's knocked down, if it's faced up, and if it wounds, and the wound is not safe, the target is automatically taken out of action. So coup de grace. And if a stunned target like this guy is automatically taken out of action if an enemy declares an attack. So if this guy attacks this guy in the next turn, or in this turn, this guy is automatically out of action because he cannot defend himself. So it seems that Dennis will get the ogre, the gold for it, or he will recruit it. But my knights errant wants to get some glory for himself, so he attacks 1 lonely Skaven. What could go wrong, you ask? Well, we'll see in a second. So I position my archers up here. What could go wrong? Everything, because like Dennis is rolling again a bunch of 6s right here to hit, to wound, and this time he rolls really good. He rolls 2 wounds, and with the wound he rolls another 6 with his faith dice, with his Necromunda faith dice, and so it is sliced. The strike ignores armor save, causes 2 wounds, and your warrior gains +2 to an injury roll. So Dennis creates now 3 wounds, And even if I would roll once, so for knockdown, it bumps it up to at least stunned or out of action. And so what happens? This happens. Like the guy is out of action and the rat, yeah, takes some skin for himself. So now I have lost 3 guys, and this will come bad. Yeah, this will be bad in a second, because like a rat takes out another of my champions, and so I have lost 4 guys. What could go wrong, you ask? You will see in a second. So this guy tries to cut down the rat. I don't know if he makes it, maybe he does. Here I lose another squire face up, and now yeah, like Dennis rolls like a god for the creeps, and he's now battling this Skaven up here. And I guess he takes him out of action, knocks him down the stairs, and there he goes. He's ready to farm the sweet, sweet Warpstone. But wait, you say, wait. It is now the next turn, and it is my turn. So what is going to happen? The following is going to happen. Because the turn sequence is the following. It is number 0, routing, number 1, recovery, 2 movement, 3 shooting, and 4 is close combat. So I want to attack this guy, but wait a second. I have to do a routing test. So what is routing? I brought 10 guys, and I lost now 4 guys. So I lost more than 25% of my warband is out of action, so I need to take a route test. What could go wrong? I have to roll 2d6 at my leadership, which is 8. And if I pass it, it's okay, the game goes on. And if I fail it, my warband automatically flees the board. So I roll a glorious 10. This is 2 more than my leadership, and so it is GG. Dennis wins the game, I flee the board, and so now it is the post-game action. And this is also very, very cool and very, very important. As you can see, we did it kind of wrong. We did number 3 and number 4 before we did number 1 and number 2, but let me start the right way. So the right way is to test for injuries. So as you can see, for each champion or for each hero that was taken out of action or henchman, you have to roll, and you have to roll 1 dice, which is for the 10, like this is for the 10, and this is for the number behind that, and then we will see what happens. And I roll for my guys. Wait a second. Yeah, I roll for my guys, and I roll for my squire. My squire first, and I roll a 15. So what's a 15? A 15 is dead. So a squire is gone. We will keep his memory, but he is gone. So it's luckily not my leader or some important guy, but it's one squire is dead. We have to replace that guy. So farewell. Then I roll for these 2 guys for my 2 knights errant, and they are befallen by, I rolled 2 times a 34, and so they have a hand injury. Their weapon skill 3 becomes now a weapon skill 2, which is not good. And then I roll 56 for this squire, and this squire is now bitter enemy. He hates now. Then I roll, I guess, a 5, and he hates now the whole enemy warband. So he hates now the Marienburger Schützenverein, and yeah, that's that. And then we roll for we rolled for injuries. And then we roll for experience. This is also really cool. You take whatever has survived. Your henchmen are grouped together. You can also split them a bit, but I would keep them together. So I think Dennis rolls for his henchmen, and they get a bigger initiative, and one gets a higher attack. And then sometimes if you roll a 10 or a 12, the lad's got talent, then you can also give them a special skill, and that's really good, like shooting skill. A brace pistol may fire both per round, like that's really good. If you have like 2 brace pistols, you now can fire both, or eagle eye, plus 6 inches to range of the missile weapon, and so on. And then we roll for our heroes. I roll for my heroes, and the ones who got the hand injury got also both the number 7, and so I gave them the weapon skill back. So nothing really happened, which is really cool. And again, here you can see the skills. Like, this is really, really cool. You can really develop your heroes, and that's, I think, a big part of the game. We did the injuries. What else? What was I missing? Experience. And then we go for exploration. So here, exploration, because Dennis won the game. He had also 3 champions. He could roll 3 dice, and then he rolled something like a 15. So he got 3 shards of Weirdstone. And then he also rolled 2 4s. So he got something from this here also. I think he got the overturned card, and as you can see in the overturned card, he found on a 4 2d6 gold, and then he started to sell the warpstone, and because his warband was 7 to 9 mans and he had 3 shards, he gained 65 gold. So the more people you have, the less gold you will get, because you have to feed your people, you have to pay the upkeep, and that's kind of it. And then you can also roll for some additional things, and yeah, and that's the game so far. So we had tons of fun. I think I covered most of it. It's not really in depth, but you got a hang of the game and how it could work. And so the Marienburgers go home with all of their trophies, and I think in the next game they can bring an ogre because they tamed this big guy. And then next time I think Dennis will have built up his own minis and painted them, and yeah, I will cover this a bit more, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with Mordheim. See ya.